on either side without rushing to enter right at the open. He says he finds a success rate of almost 69%. So that is what we wanted to discuss actually. Plus he did something to average down his position. We'll discuss that also. Because you entered a trade, let's say at 150 rupees, and price is coming down to 40 rupees or 30 rupees. He says buy more lots at that lower price to average down your entry price. So even a small move in the opposite direction can give you a recovery of your loss. That was the concept. He had used it very effectively. So we said, let us throw it open to everyone. And whoever wants to use it can use it. So these are actually the two items on the agenda today. Plus I was doing some fooling around on the chart with 2 and 3 hour candles. See, there are certain people who want to catch the up move as well as the down move. Now, how do we do that? So I thought maybe if you use a 3 hour candle instead of a daily candle, let's say, then you might be able to catch the reversal move, if not entirely, at least partially. Normal candle. Heikin-Ashi will distort the picture because it will show as if it's an uptrend. Actually, there may be a pullback happening. Now, how do you take advantage of that pullback or a reversal happening at it in the middle of the day, let's say? To do that, actually, the best method is to go by the Heikin-Ashi method because you will get the best possible entry. But still, we'll explore that also. It is purely a thought process which has not yet been crystallized. I have not given serious thought also. So I will be throwing something at you and you have to react.
In that averaging method, suppose if the market goes sideways, then your average again that will result in a loss and.
No, it will not add to your loss at least, no.
Yeah, it won't add, but yeah.
You may not recover your loss. You will end the day with a loss.
Yeah.
You see, buying at 160 one lot and buying 4 lots at 40 rupees or 30 rupees is more or less the same, no?
Yes.
In fact, a lot of people use this.
Again, that is based on our assumption that market will go in some clear direction.
Correct. You're right. Definitely you're right. If it doesn't go, take the loss.
Yeah, so as you told earlier, that's not right, not to predict.
No, but sometimes, no, if the market has a V-shaped turning point and it can recover your loss, why not?
Yeah, in that case, yeah, that will be helpful.
Yeah.
But we will not be able to know when that will happen, right?
If we could know, then we'll all be gods, yeah.
Yes.
We won't need trading to make our money.
Of course.
See, the entire exciting thing about trading as a career is the uncertainty and not knowing what to expect next. Otherwise, you will get bored.
Correct, sir.
Manoj just joined. I'm just going to wait for some more time because we are going to have a very light discussion on the topics itself. It's not something which you need to spend a lot of time on. So, oh, great. Yeah. When you entered, I knew recording will happen. Yeah, but that's good, no?
Good evening, Swami sir.
Good evening, Mac.
Okay, and thanks to Pranit for all the recordings.
Yeah,
and
he's done a wonderful job.
He's helping a lot.
Yesterday we talked a lot of irrelevant things. So he did a wonderful job of editing it out.
Because I saw your message that you are harsh in the beginning and all, but I couldn't see that in the recording. So
Correct.
he really did a good job.
Yes, that's right. As a trader, what I used to do earlier, etc., etc. Those things are not relevant for a public YouTube video. I can share anything with you all, but need not go into a public YouTube video. Wonderful job he had done on the editing side.
I think we are yet to start the session.
Yeah.
So I want to share something.
Yes, definitely.
So today Friday being holiday here.
Okay.
Yesterday, like GBP INR internationally, it is traded day long,
Yes,
right? Full
correct.
day.
Yeah.
So today morning I saw Kekanashi was last 15 days green, and today morning it is turned to red in the daytime frame.
Okay.
So I thought it is today's short day. So morning first candle itself I went short.
Mm.
But being first time with HA method, I just short 6 lots of future,
Okay.
and we trailed by 15 minutes HA candle until it turned green.
Okay.
I made around 4,800 rupees in just
Great.
6 lot.
Very good, yeah.
And it was a really wonderful thing because we never used to hold such long period.
True.
Okay, I used to just make, for me, 4,000 is the margin money required for trading one lot of future
Okay.
GBP INR. So I just calculate 200 rupees per lot is enough for me.
Mm.
That is 5%. So whenever it reaches 1,200, I might have closed it because
Okay.
I never used to trail this long.
Mm.
Today, the first experience, we trailed it fully.
Good, yeah. You're also going for the kill like Swaminathan.
And no, this is the first time, thanks to you.
Swaminathan is a master of pulling out money from the markets.
No, I have seen his what do you call, all the charts and everything informative. But again, as we used to say, it is psychology.
Yes, that's true. Definitely.
You want something, you will get, but you need to be ready to lose something also.
Correct. You're right.
So, but it depends. Today was our day, so we could make. But normally it was very tough to trail it.
Mm-hmm.
But with at least entry part, I don't know. But HA is the best thing to
I
trail.
think so. No, even the entry, you get the best entry.
Yes,
There's
yes,
no doubt about
But again, people have a lot of indicators that this. We are trying to simplify, but ultimately you get enter, but we lose money because we cannot go with our winners.
Correct. True.
So to go with our winners to get the maximum output, at least
Yes.
trail it by HA, we will be really be able to make money. That's what my experience today.
It's actually a good experience you're sharing. And it is quite important for everyone to know that you need to trail your thing until you finally exit. And you don't have to exit in a panic and find that later it has moved in your favor by another 200, 300 points. It's actually a good thing you're sharing. I like hearing all these things because not because I'm proud of what method I've disclosed. It's something just a common sense method. Okay, but if people are able to benefit by using this method and generate consistent profits, I know it is possible just by looking at Swaminathan. Okay. So I start thinking to myself, why others are not able to do it? What is the difference between them and him?
And here I request if we can arrange a webinar of this Swaminathan. Like he can share his experience, how he sees a trade.
Correct.
And how he is able to close. No, like we are not able to close. He is
exactly.
Like, and also he is doing commodities. If he can give some like trade in commodity, being what is the lot size, how much is the investment, all these things we don't know. That is why I thought of explaining this GBP INR. 4,000 is requirement for one lot.
Fantastic.
And worst come worst, you may lose 200 rupees.
It's great actually.
If you want to close the same day.
Mm.
But if you have money in your account, I
You can
advise,
hold it.
take 6 lots and then wait. If it is goes against you, keep averaging.
True.
I do this every time. Keep
Mm.
averaging and averaging. I used to build up to 30 lots
Mm.
and then market will reverse. We
Yeah,
will definitely make money.
definitely, yes.
So, because there is a limit for it to go, not like our stock.
True. Plus, you don't
Stock
have
can
that.
go.
You don't have a fixed closure time for that market.
Yes. No,
You will
not only
keep on
that.
trading.
Even the money,
Mm.
once it reaches a threshold, the
Mm.
reserve banks come in picture.
Yes, yes, true. Mm.
They will reverse it.
Okay.
So even if it is goes against your direction, you can hold it for a day, 2, 3,
Mm.
maximum of 7 days. You will get
Okay.
your money back. It's
Good.
not like you are not going to lose there.
Yes.
So the initial days people can do. People are afraid because there is no knowledge about this. So
Absolutely.
GBP INR is one of the best instrument
I
for
see.
initial people to do.
But someone from the main group was saying that GBP INR is volatile, highly volatile. Don't do it. You
The
will do only
the more
USD.
the more volatile the instrument, we can make money on intraday.
That's true. That is very true. Absolutely.
Because see, it moves around 60, 70 paisa a day.
Okay. Mm.
It's enough for you because
True.
we are expecting 20 paisa per lot will give you 200 rupees.
Mm.
Your investment is 4,000 rupees, means 5% directly, and that 5% you will get in 15, 20 minutes. Enough, close the trade and come out.
So if I were to do a positional trade, how much capital will I need?
Same
Or even
4,000.
that's all.
You can carry on with 4,000
Oh,
rupees
nice.
per lot of, that is 1,000 GBP INR.
Okay.
So
That is,
every 1 paisa will give you 10 rupees.
okay. So
And
why don't you swing trade using that daily?
yes, I do. That's what I told. No, I do.
Mm.
I take only positional because for MIS, I think you need only 2,000 per lot.
And plus, those guys will anyway knock it off by end of day.
If it is 2,000 and MIS.
Correct.
But if it is a 4,000 and take a normal trade,
Mm.
you can keep it for 1 week, 10 days. And every time now, today was 15th of April, 16th of April. So I took May lot.
Okay.
Even it goes against my direction, I will keep it till end of the May.
End of May, correct. You can
And
exit whenever you have the profit.
Yes. And advice somebody is going to do hearing my words,
Yeah.
please start small.
Okay.
Whatever you are holding, that many lots also you have margin money, because if it goes against you, they will take margin also.
Okay.
It is not like stock option. You buy and that is the margin.
Mm.
So whatever it goes against you, they will recover from your margin money. So if you have a 1 lakh, that is 50 lot size,
mm.
only do 15 lot, 15 lots, and
Okay.
then keep money. But you
Remaining
will
money can be.
eventually not lose money in GBP INR.
Okay.
You may have to hold for a while. That's it.
Yeah. Interesting actually. And if you are able to take a profit of, let's say, 4,000, the profit you took in how much time?
Morning, as soon as
Yeah.
7:30 here is 9 o'clock.
Mm.
Means 9:05. I took the trade.
Mm.
Around 12:30 Indian time, we closed it.
Oh, great.
If I'm not wrong.
That's almost what, 100% of your margin? No, it can't be 100%. 20%
Not
you got.
100%.
20%
6
you got.
lots I took, 24,000. We got around 4,800.
Okay.
Now, that is more than enough. If you are like one, and definitely weekly, like 2 or 3 trades you get.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to be like, again, with every instrument, you need to know where it goes up, how much it will come down.
Correct. Okay. That you can study for about a 1 week chart. If you study, you will come to know.
Yes. And I advise whoever going to start in trading view, take GBP INR. It's there the instrument will be trading all the 5 days full.
Okay.
And with that you will know what is the top bottom, but there will be a difference in the pricing between Indian market and that market.
Okay.
That will be around 30 paisa for the current month lot.
Oh.
If you are trading in the next month lot, that is May, now it will be around 40 paisa difference.
Okay.
That you need to know, used to it. But advantage is the whole night it will trade. So
Mm.
early morning, if you wake up and see the international market, you will know what will be the trend that
Mm.
bias here. Like
Yeah,
SGX Nifty we are using,
correct.
same thing we can use.
Mm.
And with that bias, if you take the trade initially,
Mm.
it will run in your favor.
Yeah.
And there are options there. I have not tried. If
Okay.
somebody want, they can try the options also.
If liquidity is there, why not?
Yes, liquidity, current strike, that is ATM strike, current month will have liquidity.
Yeah,
But I have never tried it.
good. Once you can try that and let us know.
Sure. Right.
Because options will probably require lesser money, no?
But I think the spread will be like little bigger.
Okay.
So then it will be tough to handle. I think so. But if
Leakages will be there.
yeah. But if it moved like today, we
Mm.
might have minted money.
Acha. Mm.
But
Option
this
will be
again,
costing like 400 rupees only, sir. Actually, one lot it will be 400 rupees only.
yes, you are right. But only thing is, if I tell in Tamil, dillikku dhaan duddu. How much
Correct.
dill you have? How much dill you have? That much duddu.
Just for the benefit of others, I'll translate. He says, fortune will favor the brave. If you have, if you are daring enough to take a trade, then you will be able to make money.
So have you tried in USD INR? Or
No,
is it
I don't trade all those things. Oh, you're asking Mac. Fine.
Mac?
It's really a pleasure
Okay,
having you.
Vivek,
Good
yes,
evening, sir.
I did
It's my
try
pleasure.
USD
It's my
INR, Euro
pleasure. You
INR,
have
but
allowed
somehow
me to join your meeting,
to my
we want more
liking,
people to join.
GBP INR working
Yeah.
because
The only thing is we don't
70
mention it
to
in the main
80
group
paisa.
because
Minimum at
immediately
least
when we
60
talk
paisa it
about
will move in a day.
Great.
See, that is the only
Someone
If you
thing
are
what
told
I
me
aiming
that
asked
to,
you in personal, sir.
it is risky, you only do USD INR. So I stayed away from that thing.
no, but just see.
Okay.
For me, I like GBP INR. I do trades at
Mm.
least weekly, 2-3 times we get.
Mm.
I don't do big trades. Like maximum, I will take only 6 to 10 lots initially.
Okay.
If it is going against me, then I keep averaging.
Okay.
So,
So
to the
you
maximum of 30
you look,
lots.
so you look at the international market, see what the trend is, and based on that you take entry at the 9 p.m. in the morning, right?
9 a.m. in the morning, but
Right.
that is not a daily phenomena. What happens is it keeps going up. You know, 103 will be the maximum. You be like over a period you have watched it, right? Yesterday it was around going to be touching 104. So that is the maximum. We know. So I was expecting a reversal from there. And today morning, first candle itself, it was a reversal. Also the international market in day time frame, HA candle turned red.
Okay.
So I went short at the first candle itself without seeing anything. Okay, but this cannot be daily phenomena.
True.
So now here we have a double confirmation. One, day time frame in the international market, after 15 or 16 days of green HA candles, it became red.
Mm.
And this red is around 12 midnight of Indian time. It starts daytime there. So
Okay.
we will be having around 8 hours of red HA candle.
Yeah, fine.
So that's a confirmation.
Definitely.
So morning, we know it is going to be gap down in Indian market.
Mm.
So gap down normally, you know, it starts and then falls faster.
Yes, true.
So I punched the order in the first minute itself. So it was 6 lots. Immediately I got my 10 paisa.
Okay.
So I put 10 paisa stop loss order, right? If it goes less than 10 paisa, I will close the trade with profit and come out.
True.
And then I let it run with every HA handle.
Okay.
And once in 15 minutes time frame in Indian market,
Mm.
the HA candle turned green.
Mm. You can
It
exit.
becomes smaller and smaller. We know when it becomes smaller, intensity is wading, right?
True.
So when it turned green, I closed.
Great.
So that's it. No need to think. And if I had taken a contra trade at that candle, I might have made another 40 paisa.
Okay.
But I have not done because I am satisfied with today's lunch.
Good. At least it helps you to take more profit.
Yes,
So in that
we
sense,
could,
it's a good thing.
yeah, we might have taken a contract trade, but I have not done it. Being a
Okay.
Friday, I want to take a rest in the afternoon.
Mm. But tell me, Saturday, Sunday also you can trade, no forex?
No, but Indian market is not done. I trade this GBP INR in Indian market.
Okay, okay.
The problem is that
Oh, right.
we, like, you have taken a position, you see it is falling, you have taken a shot, you know, but the whole night it was falling.
Mm.
You know, wow, I will make the money, but unfortunately, before Indian market opens 2-3 hours, it will come back to your original position.
Mm-hmm.
It happens most of the days.
Okay,
That is why I advise take small lots.
right.
And then, if yes, there will be times which will go against your direction. So then around 30 paisa, you keep averaging.
Okay.
And then, but you will come out safe and also you will make money. Only thing, patience.
Yes, patience is required. That is
So
one of the
104.
biggest problems with this Heikinashi method is, you don't have the patience to wait for your signal. So you
Nice.
start imagining that every time you see some high being broken, you feel it's a signal and you jump into the trade. The
Yeah,
moment
but
you jump into a trade like this without knowing that whether it is actually at support or not, right? Most of your trading gurus talk about location being important. Why do they say that? They're emphasizing that you buy only at support. And we take a trade because we can't keep our fingers to ourselves. If my hand is on the keyboard, I want to punch something. So I punch an order. Then I end up feeling miserable because risk reward is unfavorable there. So whenever you are taking a trade, if you look at your risk reward and then decide, you will probably have a better trade. Now immediately above, if there is a resistance, then your RR is going to be small. So you need to enter only at the right location. That seems to be the only key. And all other trades you need to learn to ignore. Or blindly take every trade, suffer some stop loss hits, and then you can say, okay, still I gained more than what I lost. That's one way of looking at it, but it's not a very scientific way, no? Anyway, it's a good experience you shared, Mac. These are the kinds
thank
of...
you. If anybody wants more info on this GBP INR, whatever I know, I can share, but let them post in the same group. We will answer, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, but I think Vivek had some question.
Yeah, Vivek had some
Yes.
questions on this.
So like you said 104. So that is like a resistance line based on the charts, right?
It is say you can draw resistance line in the international chart in trading view, but I don't do all these things because over a period I know 104 means Indian money is gone, right? So RBI is not going to allow to stay at that top.
Mm.
If we have insider information today, RBI might have sold international currency to bring Indian money down. So Indian money gained today around, if I am not wrong, 60-70 paisa against dollar.
Against the pound.
No, dollar.
Oh, dollar, okay. USD INR.
Okay. Okay, but I traded in GBP INR, but they
Correct.
were not able to sustain that.
You're
So
basically
by
saying
after lunch,
RBI is a built-in safety mechanism for us.
yes, not only RBI, every country's reserve bank will not allow the currency to fluctuate too much.
Correct. Right.
So today they have entered, or somebody big entered to bring it down, but they were not able to keep it down. After lunch, it again went 40-50 paisa above.
Correct. And that is a market where only big institutions trade more than the retailers, no?
Yes. So we should know, like basically it cannot travel. The GBP against INR cannot travel 3 to 4 rupees more.
Okay.
If that is the case, you know this is maximum. But my confirmation, double confirmation was After 16 days,
Mm.
HA green turned into HA red. So we all
Okay.
know what is going to happen.
Yes, correct. Momentum has changed.
Yes.
Mm.
Am
Okay.
I
Thank
clear,
you.
Vivek?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome. Bye. I'll
Vivek,
go over to you, Swami sir.
you're trading currency also?
Yes, right now I'm exploring it. I'm exploring USD INR with just 1 or 2 lots.
Okay, great.
Yes.
I tried
But
it for some time. I lost my patience and I
no,
was
the
not.
problem with USD INR is you cannot make money, in my opinion, because 10 paisa, to get 10 paisa, you have to wait whole day.
True.
Whereas if GBP INR with HA method, even just don't see anything, 15 minutes time frame, our HA, when it turns green to red or red to green, you take a trade, you will make money.
Mm.
But don't go overkill. Like you don't wait for say 30 paisa, 40 paisa. Go with 20 paisa target, you will get most of the times.
Why not go with more lots?
You can,
You
but
can.
again, it's all depends.
So,
So
How
instead
much
of
so you
risk
are
you can
saying
take.
30 paisa means 0.3, right? 0.30000.
Now you are asking, I don't know, like
No, no.
I,
Suppose it is 103 point. After that, there are
oh,
4 digits, right?
no, forget about the last two digits. Okay. If the last two digit will be 25, 50, 75, right?
Right.
Forget those two digits.
The first 2
That is,
digits you are talking after the decimal point, right?
yes, after the decimal, you get 0.3. That is 30 paisa.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
Mm.
So every one decimal, you will get 10
10 points.
paisa, which is equal to, like for a one whole lot, you will get 10 rupees.
Mm.
Okay.
So just make 20 paisa, you will get 200 rupees per lot. And if you're trading in 10 lots, 2000 rupees, you will make it in maximum, if I'm not wrong, 3 or 4 of 15 minutes candle.
I
Enough.
see. Mm.
But this movement you will not get in Euro INR or what you call USD INR.
USD INR. Yes.
So
Even
yesterday I said
USD,
actually we
even
can.
USD INR also fell like crazy today. I was observing it. It
Mm-hmm.
just kept on falling and falling only. It never recovered.
Mm.
Because now Indian market has to go up. This is again, it is inversely connected. Whenever currency, Indian currency falls, we will know Nifty is going to go down. Indian currency gains, Nifty will come up.
Mm.
I don't know how it happens because people bring money from outside, bring the money down, and otherwise take the money out, something like that, which I
Plus,
am not maybe.
plus IT companies depend on foreign currency, this thing, no? Movements.
So this is how it happens. Whenever Nifty falls, IT companies flourish.
Mm.
So all these things we need to know. I don't know much about it. I don't have time to think all those things. But
No, but
people
now
do
we
this.
also know. We also know it. So we'll explore it more.
Yeah, that's why I told, no? Like whenever USD INR falling, you can see Nifty going up.
Mm.
And after say 11 o'clock USD INR is gaining, that means Nifty is going to fall. This is my observation only. Maybe somebody has to backtest and see.
Okay.
Okay, I think thank you from my end, Swami sir.
Welcome, sir. And it was actually good of you to share your experience.
I think that one hymns he need to like.
Yeah, Hems is the guy who's in demand.
Yeah, he has to give some knowledge.
Hems, over to
No,
you.
it was interesting. It was interesting that 0.5% something you was telling, no?
Correct.
Also, some averaging part. If
Correct.
both, if we can explain,
Mm.
like most of the, like at least curtail the losses.
Yeah.
Because if we can share some knowledge.
Hello, sir.
Hems, yeah.
Yeah. Hi.
Actually, what is your name, please? Sorry.
I'm Hemant.
Oh, okay, Hemant. Welcome.
Yeah.
Please share your knowledge.
Thank you. Sure. See, since Swami sir suggested to go with a daily candle, whenever there is a green appearing, we go buy. And if in case it turns red, we will go for PE also, keeping the CE trade live. So this is what the base logic of that day candle, right? So when I heard this, I was taking a couple of candles, and there was a slight wick downside as well. So what would have actually happened? It would have given a downside movement first and then moved upward, forming a big green candle.
Yes.
So
Like
in those cases, sorry.
no, sorry. You continue. I was just
Yeah, yeah.
trying to share my screen so that they can
Okay.
visualize what we are talking about.
All right, sir.
I forgot to share the screen.
Okay.
So once I do that, I can show them on the chart also as you talk.
Sure, sir. So this got my attention, and then I thought, like, how many cases are there wherein a small wick is formed and then the candle is reversing, forming a very good green or red candle. This can happen either sides. So what I did was I have instantly downloaded last 11 years of day candle data from NSE, and then I have sorted it by month wise, year wise, day wise, and date wise. So now I have the data sorted. Like, if I have to understand in the entire 11 years, what is the actual range on Fridays, given that scenario, I can know, I can understand, okay, Tuesdays are being bad, Fridays are being the most range candles, and Mondays are being most range candles. So people can question, like, how this can help. Like today, for example, I know that Friday can be a very good ranging candle day. So when I saw the market, the first 5 minutes itself is a huge candle and formed a doji. But the whole day it stayed within the candle range. It couldn't cross. Though the range was good, it couldn't surpass either low or the high. I decided, like, I have to stay back with one lot only. Whatever happens, I'll just, let it run. So that is the reason I have not kept any stop loss. I have taken uh, buy of PE trade and then CE trade, and then both are at 500 negative as of now. I held it in order to test something else. So once that is, giving some results, I'll just, explain that. So here what I've done is I have taken the day range, like high, day close, day open, and all these things. And I have kept on adding a little buffer to the open price. For example, let's say a certain stock opened at 100 rupees today, and then there was a little spike downwards for 1 rupee, and then it started forming a green candle. So what we generally do is, when the down wick is formed, we go for PE, and then whenever the candle keeps changing its color to green, we again go for CE. But the PE trade can be a redundant process, right? We don't have to take that PE trade. Had we know that, there can be a buffer for that stock. So similarly for Bank Nifty, I started, like, understanding what can be that buffer range which can allow us to prevent the counter trade. So when I was back testing it, 0.3%. Today it was trading at somewhere around 30,000, 32,000 change. So you can say, like, 0.2% added to the open price, and you, like, just mark above and below lines. Then you enter into a CE trade or PE trade. As simple as it. So when I explained this to sir, sir asked me to test it with 50%. 0.5%. So then I back tested it. To my surprise, the results got, like, doubled. What it actually showed was using 0.3% buffer to the open price will prevent 55% of the times taking a counter trade. So 55% of the times, instead of taking both trades, we could end up taking only one side trade.
Yeah,
and that
got
can
it.
be a huge move. So when we increase the buffer rate, probably our entry can be at a higher price. But what happens is, considering the entire month or the entire whole lot of trades you're going to take, this will prevent us, like, from taking a lot of counter trades, instantly PE or instantly CE. So for this, I have the entire data. I can share it in the group so you people can explore it as well. It's a simple math, nothing. I've just added buffer to open price to understand where can that candle started forming or started moving in its own regular direction rather than, like, going the counter trade. So this is what the method is all about. And when I was discussing with Swami sir, sir formed a set of rules so that, if we can try this method, our probability of taking the counter trend will reduce. With that reduction, we might reduce taking two trades. One might go wrong and one might be a winner, or both might go wrong in that case. So in these cases, we can prevent loss. So this was the base concept for that. It
And
might sound very simple.
you are saying that it gives you how much win rate? 69%.
Yes. When it was increased to 0.5%, initially it was like, 55% probability for candle to be staying in the same color has improved to 69%.
Yes. Okay.
So that means, sir, you can place a cursor on any of the candles. Yeah,
This one.
on the 12th exactly. So this was a solid red candle, but if you observe it very closely, so there is a small wick upside. So initially it started and then it moved up. So there we would have been like, when market start, we would have been assuming it to be a green candle since there was a gap down as well. And then we could have gone for C, but after that, the whole day it kept on falling. So in this case, the buffer is within the range of that 0.5%. And then we are for sure we wouldn't have taken a CE.
Correct.
And straightforward we would have gone for P and then caught the entire move.
Yes, true.
So
Same for
that's
the
all
next
about that.
candle also. 13th
But
also you had the same
the
thing.
range has been little bigger, sir. The range has been little bigger.
Mm.
I was checking that. So it
Sir,
depends upon us. Yeah.
I actually shared one sheet, Excel sheet, a few days back. So it has all the data, but in that I was checking out most of the time that Excel sheet showing, right? The buffer range can vary from 0 to 100, 300 points, something like that. So up and
Yeah,
down.
absolutely. See, the buffer range in order to catch the single side trade can vary. But if you decide that, okay, until 0.5% is not reached, I'll not take the counter trade. At least you would miss like, there is high probability that 69% of the times you won't take the counter trade. That is what I'm proposing.
Okay.
Okay, I just marked out the lines on today's candle after assuming a 0.5 buffer.
Yeah.
On today's candle, which opened at 32,161.
Okay.
So 0.5 buffer was 160 points.
Yeah.
So you mark your line here, you wouldn't have taken a CE trade.
Exactly.
Only thing is you would have also entered your PE trade a little bit late.
Yeah.
And though you would not have lost money, you would have made nothing also.
Yeah.
Today was one of those days anyway. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. So many people today have taken both the trades and lost in both the trades, sir.
And like yesterday's candle, if you try to see the same concept, you would have got into a counter trend trade, but at a much later time. So you would have still been able to prevent a bigger loss.
Exactly.
Yesterday I took a big loss, so that would have been prevented, and probably my loss would have been smaller.
So, see, in these cases, the other method that sir was saying, like, averaging would immensely help.
Correct.
I will just,
Sorry,
continue.
Hemant, just a second,
Yes.
Hemant. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Swami
yes,
sir,
Yeah.
to improve upon, can we take the original trade without buffer and only the buffer will be applicable to the contract trade? Then,
See, then
definitely
what will
also
happen?
we won't get money.
Mac, what would happen is you would have taken a CE trade here in the beginning. If you just look at this red candle very closely, there was a small upper wick. In a daily candle, probably it appears small. Whereas if you look at the 15-minute candles of yesterday, this is 15th. So you would have got into a CE trade immediately on open. Correct?
Yes, you're right.
So that wouldn't have prevented you from a wrong entry. Whereas if you keep the buffer, then you would have avoided the CE trade, instead gone for a PE trade.
Okay.
Still, this method is not foolproof in the sense when you have a V-shaped reversal like this,
Yes, you're right.
you would also lost on the P if you didn't exit fast enough. One is it is bad enough that you enter a little bit late, then you have a smaller move, and then you never expected. None of us expected this kind of turn to happen, right?
Right, you're right. So
It,
ultimately, we mean to say loss is inevitable. Simple.
correct. But with this buffer method, if your win rate is 61%, this loss is falling within the 31%, which is a failure trade anyway.
Sir, just to correct that, it is not actual win rate, but it is the possibility or probability of the candle being one colored, I mean one side
Single
colored.
side colored. Okay, fine.
Yeah, either green or red, whatever it is.
Correct. Yeah, that is a winning trade only, no?
No, that depends on the closing price, right? If you are closing the trade at end of the day,
Correct.
like yesterday, it might pull back all the way to the up, and then we might end up with nothing.
True. So you are saying leave the discretion to exit to the users.
Yeah, that is their discussion, but it ensures that the counter trade unnecessary of taking the counter trade
Correct.
can be prevented to far extent.
Yeah. Okay.
Great,
So
great.
that
So now let's
prevention is
do
69%. Yeah. The averaging, this is completely dependent on the user's risk taking capacity. So what happened yesterday was, I'll give a live example. Yesterday I've taken CE, and after that I have taken a PE. The CE was OTM, and I have taken it at 96 rupees, one lot. And it immediately the price started falling. So I was losing on the premium, and it reached to 60 rupees, 50 rupees. That is when I thought, like, why not I take a ITM PE to counter it. So I've taken it with the buffer only. But what had happened was there was an unexpected spike, and I have kept 100 rupees SL which got hit for PE trade. So for PE exited with a loss. That was 2 lots, and 3000 was the loss. By that time I was also in red with the CE trade. So what I thought was, I had a risk capacity of 5,000 per lot. That is what I thought. So I thought I will extend the trade to the bottommost, probably the 10% of my premium. So when I said 10%, I've taken it at 96 rupees. Probably around 10 rupees would be the bottommost. That is where I'll decide to average it more. So that is what I was waiting to see. But unfortunately, the price was like battling at 12 rupees, 13 rupees during 11:15 time period. So what I did was, I have immediately averaged the existing CE position with 7 more lots, making the total lot size to be 8. And the maximum I would lose.
What was the average price at that time?
It came down to 26.
Very good, yeah.
From 96 all the way, it came down to 26. And
so by
I was at
averaging,
14.
you were able to exit with a profit.
Exactly.
On the upswing.
Yes.
Great.
So I was at 14 rupees at that time, and then only I lost 10 rupees of premium by then. And then even if it goes till 0, maximum I would lose is 5,000. So that exactly depends on my risk. So I'm not risking much beyond my capacity. And fortunately, there was a very good V-shaped recovery. So as soon as the price touched 35, 36, I have recovered my PE trade loss and then covered the entire loss into profit. Unfortunately, I have moved back from the trade, seeing 1,000 rupees profit. But had I stayed in the trade, it would have been 14k profit.
Wow.
I just missed it. I was a fool. I was that was my adrenal rush there. So I thought wow, it worked, and then so some sort of eureka moment, and then I exited. But yeah, that works. So based on the same thing, today also I have taken 2 lots, because I knew that the first 5 minutes range itself is huge, and it is Friday. Based on the data, the range can be huge, and it can only give you profit when the range either side has crossed. So what I did was, I only risked 1 lot on PE and 1 lot on CE. Now I'm just waiting, whichever hits the bottom most of my 10%, I will average it. So since I've taken next week's expiry, probably I'll have 2 more or 3 more days before it becomes 0. So
yes.
At max, I will probably average my CE position at 6 rupees or 7 rupees. So that is what my game plan is.
Good. That means you're carrying forward your trade
Exactly, sir.
for Monday.
Exactly. Because even if they both become zeros, I might lose 5,000 and my risk capacity is 5,000 per lot. So two
Okay.
lot 5,000 is good enough. That's okay. Fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, because market cannot stay between that 200 range, sir.
True,
So
true. It has to break out somewhere.
yeah, it has to break out. So I'm sure it's gonna give profit.
See, if you remove all these day barriers, all these day divider lines,
Exactly.
actually the market is a continuous process.
Yeah.
When it has formed a range, it has to break out sometime.
True.
And if it happens within the next couple of days, you're going to be in profit.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
once any of the person decides the risk ability and then understand okay, after this, if I scale up my positions and then it goes against me, this is the maximum risk and I am okay for that. Then you can scale up easily without any hesitation. You don't have to check the trades. You don't have to check the charts. But one more thing, what I have observed is, if at all you found, okay, this is the boiling point of your, scaling up time, you just check the chart if possible on 30 minutes or 1 hour. If you see a reversal Heikenhashi candle, that's a gold jackpot.
True.
So that's it, sir.
Okay, Hemant, can I add to your exit process?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Based on my experience, now you had 8 lots yesterday, right?
Exactly.
And this all happens. I have also done this a lot of times. Once you cover the cost, you are relieved and we will close the trade. This happens to me.
Exactly, because whole day we were in that tense period and then all of a sudden we have seen some profit and green, so we'll be.
Yeah. Now what I advise or what I do with equity, I do lot equity cash.
Okay.
Same thing happens. After I buy, it will go down, it will be in loss. And I will, once it is covered, I will close and come out. Okay. Then after that, it will run like anything. So like this, when you have 8 lots, you want to cover your cost, just wait. Once your cost is covered and you are a little bit in green, close 6 lots.
Okay.
Keep the 2 lots running.
Yeah. Yeah, sir.
Because that is not your money.
Exactly.
Leave that money. If it becomes 0, it's very good. If it becomes multi-bagger, very good, right? Because
Yes,
I
sir.
started this like 10, 12 years before with equity.
Okay.
I think I explained Swami sir in the beginning. He told you are wasting time. But anyway, that is my hobby now. Right? See, what I do is, if you can search, there is a stock called JB Chemicals.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, it is trading around 1,300 now. I bought it at 70 rupees.
Okay.
And then once it become double, I sold my part, like 50%. Covered my cost and then leave it running.
Okay.
Like that I have HUL, which is running not in my money, its own money. Bajaj Finance, it's running on its own money.
Okay.
So like you have to keep.
No, you termed it good. I mean, that phrase, that word sounds good actually. It is running on its own money.
It's on its
Yeah.
own money.
So, but ultimately you have a satisfaction when you say it's growing, no? Because CAGR is all matters. Every year it is compounding.
Yep.
If anybody knows, HUL I have at 232.
Okay.
And then it is running 2,300 today. Means 10 times it has grown, but not money, not my money.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but all your youngsters, myself and Swamis are little old, so please, after you earn money in the trading, look for some good equity and start investing there.
Yeah.
True.
Please. Thank you.
Yep.
Guys, can you give me just a few minutes? I need to talk to one gentleman and
Sure, sir.
allow him to the meeting. Just give me a second.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you carry on with your discussions. I'll be hearing
Yeah.
on.
With the same averaging method, today also I was expecting the CE to be touching my boiling point. But unfortunately, the CE price which I have brought was 50 rupees, had only boiled down to 29 rupees. Had it gone down to 10 rupees, I would have averaged it.
I'm great, sir. I've sent you the link to our Google Meet session. We are just having a casual chat now. and we're exploring various things. You join them, please. Thank you. Somebody is recording it, sir. Usually
Prem,
I don't
Prem
record.
Zero.
Someone else
Yeah,
does
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
So you said that, I mean, we have to take
No, it's
0.5% buffer, right?
joint
So
fund.
To
are
the
we catch
open price of the current day.
People are just sharing their
okay, to the
experience.
open price of the current day?
Yeah.
So both for
See,
CE and both for PE.
no. On the spot, you mark zero point 0.5 buffer added to the open price. For example, tomorrow Bank Nifty is opening at 33,000, let's
30,
say.
yeah.
And you take 0.5% to 33,000 and then add. So it might become 33,100 on the above side, 32,900 on the below side.
Okay. So whenever
When the
these
price,
prices crosses, so
yeah,
if it crosses above 32,000, sorry,
you go for CE.
33,100, I go for CE. So if it
Yes.
crosses below 32,900, I go for PE. Am
Yeah.
I correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
the
fine.
data says is for the past 11 years, there are shorter wicks that are forming within this range, 69% of the times. So we are trying to
Okay.
avoid that.
And I mean, in the group chat, you mentioned that sometimes 0.3%. I mean,
No, see, I have tested with 0.3% initially, which I thought is good. Okay.
okay.
So that has given 55% probability that I will end up only trading CE or PE for the day instead of taking
Yeah.
both. But Swami sir suggested why not you increase the percentage and see any which ways 0.5% is just 100 rupees for Bank Nifty, which is going like 800, 900 rupees the range.
Yes.
So I
It is
have
not.
increased that 0.5%. When we increase the 0.5%, the probability has increased, and then 69% of the times you end up with one side trade.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
I'll share the Excel sheet. I mean, you guys can check the data and then how it is derived and all. So there are a lot of other factors I have included, which can be off topic. But yeah, that can give a clear understanding how Bank Nifty used to form exact open equal to high or low earlier years. And since 3 years, how it has changed. So when we check like 2016-15, there has been very good candles where there is no wick at all at the bottom. That means solid green candle or solid red candle. But since 2017 onwards, that format has changed. So
Yes.
this purely indicates speculation, right? People are taking more BTSC trades or probably are doing instant trades or whatever it is.
More
So
algo
that,
trades.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Whenever the algo starts, right? So people are keep on doing it. So I mean, repeating the formulas. So
Absolutely.
obviously, we have to change our strategies.
Yeah. So I mean, this method looks from the data aspect, it looks like, a preventer for the counter trade in unnecessary situations. But at times, yeah, we have to take like yesterday and today. Today, CE position wouldn't have been triggered, only PE would have been triggered, but still we were in loss. Instead of being loss in two sides, being loss in one side also profit, right?
Yeah. Got it.
So that's a way. I mean, nowadays we are just testing with only one lot. What if like we go with 5 lots or 6 lots and 10 lots? So at that time scaling up, so these aspects will become more critical points. So that is what I thought.
Yeah, so Athar,
Yeah.
here the question is, as you said, you mark a 0.5% above the opening price and below the opening price, and
Yes.
you take the trade only if the price reaches beyond zero point 0.5 up or zero point 0.5 below down,
Correct.
Yes. Yes.
right? No, then we need to wait. We should not take the entry at 960.
At the start we don't take. So this also gives us a chance to understand, okay, whether there can be a range bound candle like today.
Hmm.
See, if you observe today, it was like, a big, huge candle
Yeah.
and the whole day was within that range.
Hmm.
So we can only get profited once either high or the low of that candle is broken, because we have taken almost like, the entered C or P position at the higher low of that long range candle. So that is what it is all about.
Like
It gives
what
us some
happened
time.
today was
Yes.
the first 15-minute candle range was not broken at all for quite a long time. So you
Yes,
would have,
sir. True.
I
15-minute
need not
candle.
enter this thing at all. If you had just looked at the 15-minute candle, oh sorry, I keep doing this stupid thing all the time. Forgot to change over to horizontal line. So if you had kept this level, you wouldn't have entered any trade at all today.
Yeah.
No. So it would have prevented a unnecessary heartburn, saying my position is on loss, how do I balance it and all those things. You don't need to do all those. So I was about to ask Hems this question.
Yes, sir.
Why not look at the 15-minute candle? We'll treat it as a breakout trade. Okay.
We can do that as well, but at times like, if the momentum is good in the previous day, the buyers, enter in and then they move the market like anything in the first 15 minutes itself.
That's
So
okay. You enter, you have a rule that you will enter only on the break of the 15-minute high.
absolutely we can do that, sir.
So you have a strong trend going. Still you will
Yeah.
make money on the remaining
True,
part.
true. There's no question we can't make money, but yeah, we can.
See,
We
until
can go
it
ahead.
breaks and any retest happening, if it is not a strong signal from the sellers that they are in control, you
Yeah.
can always take the trade after the first breakout or second breakout, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. 12th was a best example for that. I mean, there was a first 15 minutes candle was a very huge red candle after the gap down.
Correct.
And then, yeah, had we entered at the breakdown of that candle also, we could have minted on PE side. And definitely
Correct.
there was no question of CE entry at all.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Supposing we just say enter after the 15-minute break,
Okay,
high or low.
okay.
Because if somebody has to sit and calculate the buffer point and all those things, okay, then he may get an entry slightly earlier.
Okay.
But again, he will get confused now sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. We can do this as well.
We'll simplify the process saying only enter this daily candle method on the breakout of 15 minutes.
Yeah,
It
that can
doesn't
be.
guarantee that you won't lose, but it'll at least keep your losses minimum.
Of course, sir. It
Like
will.
for instance, 15th wala day, anyway you would have incurred a loss.
Yeah, yeah. No question like we prevent that.
Then you will have to see whether you can avoid holding it for the entire day, because as you hold it, it is going to create more pain.
Exactly.
No.
No, if the risk is well defined, they can average it and then come out of it, sir. That is
True.
there. So that actually depends on them. Like, see, if when a trade is failing, we will have the urge to average it as early as possible. Whenever we see a small movement, up movement, we will have the urge to average it. But you should understand, if we average there and then price turns against us, are we able to, handle the loss or not?
Correct.
So
absolutely.
that we have to consider as a boiling point. So I would say that 10% of your premium, when the price reaches to the lowest 10% of your premium entered price, that can be the boiling point where you can average it.
True.
So that method worked for me yesterday, and I'm hoping to implement the same for CE trade probably on Monday, because I'm sure it will go down from 50 to 10 or 15. I will average it and then I'll catch on the up move.
Unfortunately, our friend Mr. Murli is not here. If he was there, he would be very interested in this thing.
Okay.
Because he always takes some trade which is contrary to the trend and then keeps asking us what should I do.
Okay.
Today he was asking me, should I hold the trade for Monday? I said, hold it.
Okay.
Maybe he'll recover whatever he lost today.
Yeah. But Swami sir, I just have a wish, I want to experience the full range candle profit, sir. I am very keen and eager now.
It is bound to come.
Yeah.
Every day cannot be a doji day, no?
Yes.
Market has to decide somewhere.
Yes, sorry to interrupt you. So usually Monday we'll get such candles like ORB breakout, like it will go higher, or ORB breakout will go lower. Usually Monday we'll get such candles.
Correct. Sometimes what
I have back tested all the weekdays, so I made some Excel kind.
Okay.
So in which day we are getting ending with green on mean, Monday we're getting ending with red, or Tuesday we're getting ending with green. So I will share the Excel sheet in the group.
Yeah.
So what I found that usually Monday, so we'll mostly get the ORB breakout. So continuously the trend will go. There is no reversal I can see. I mean, from past 3 to 4 weeks, I'm observing this on Monday.
Okay. What we are doing in this webinar is, sir, we were evaluating what we did today and all the blunders we made. We were doing some soul searching.
And sir, with your help, I have also seen few things. Okay, uh, just for a small example. Okay,
Yeah.
whenever you are taking a trade in a bank nifty, you are looking at C and P. But
Yes, I am.
I'm seeing at one more thing, that is VIX.
Yes.
Okay. And now when you combine VIX with bank nifty and then with P and C, you will just find results are fantastic. You
Okay.
can just check it right now, sir.
Would you explain it a little bit more in detail, sir, so that all the members
Sir,
can...
just according to your system, okay, if VIX is giving a buy, okay, that means Nifty is going to go down. And if VIX is sideways, so it
Yes.
means everything is going to be get stop loss hit.
Correct. You're right.
Okay, you just check a chart of VIX of
Yeah. Let
yesterday
me
and
just
today.
quickly... This is called a fear index. So when fear is going up, fear is increasing, people start selling. When fear reduces, people start buying. That is a simple logic. So when you see that India VIX is going down, right, that means you get buy opportunities. And sometimes it stays within the 15-minute range and it doesn't move at all, like today. Then it points to a sideways movement day. But this we will come to know only after we have taken our trade. So we can at least mentally prepare ourselves. Today is not going to be a ranging day. Sir, please continue.
But it can change at any moment. How can this be?
And this is just my observation, sir. I may be wrong, and it
No,
was
you're not
only
wrong. You are only saying what is happening in the market. No, you're definitely not wrong. And because India VIX is called the fear index. In fact, any VIX is a volatility index, which is called the fear index in other words. And if fear increases, market will go down. If fear decreases, market will go up. So what we are doing is today we were just looking at our trades and some people are sharing about what they did and how they managed to average down their entry price so that they can get a profit even in the falling, in a sideways market. And basically we've been only discussing that. We were not discussing on the method itself. And since our last webinar in FTU, we have had one additional method which we are all trying out, where we say, forget about Heikin-Ashi, forget about 15 minutes, all those things. Just look at the daily candle direction and trade. In very simple words, what I'm saying is if price is going up, you buy. If price is coming down, you sell. If price goes up first and then comes down, you hedge yourself. This is the only simple concept we have. The reason we decided to do this was a lot of people were getting confused with the Heikin-Ashi method. They were taking some entries which turned out to be a retracement instead of a reversal. And it was giving stop loss hits. Like for instance, they exited the trade and then they would look for another entry later. And typically in a given day, using the 15 minute as a time frame, you do tend to get some false signals. So the false signal doesn't damage your account because the stop loss is small when you enter at the right place. If you enter at the support level, definitely your stop loss will be the smallest. And in a bank nifty, some 20-25 points of stop loss is not going to hurt your account. But still, if you have 2 or 3 stop loss hits, you tend to get demotivated. And you start wondering whether you're in the right trade or not. So that was one confusion. And on a strong trending day like this, you may not get a pullback to enter on the basis of the Heikin-Ashi. So you end up missing a big trade. These were 2 drawbacks of the Heikin-Ashi system. We said let us address it by doing one thing. Let us not start waving our sword at each and every ghost we find. We will only look at the daily candle, and based on the daily candle, we'll take our entries. So if morning it opens with a small wick here, right? But opening was a green candle, so we would have got fooled into taking a CE trade. Sorry, opening here was on the green candle, it was at a low. So supposing I had taken a PE trade here in this candle, right? Then the price reversed and went back upside. I would have lost on the PE, but I would have also entered a CE for a small profit, which minimizes the loss on the CE. That's all, on the PE. So we were having a lot of discussions about that, and all this kind of small wicks forming, which fools us into an initial trade in the wrong direction. We were saying we can avoid it by looking at the 15-minute candle, marking out the high and low, and only entering on the break. ठीक है जी? So if you do that, the chances of false entries, unnecessary hedged position will get minimized. You may still have a loss. On certain days when you have more wick than body, you are definitely bound to have a loss. But the loss can be minimized. Instead of losing on both sides, we lose only on one side. This is, in a nutshell, this is what we have been discussing up till now.
Sir, on that VIX part, I have a little confusion.
Sorry, Vishit, I was wanting to tell you that your voice is feeble here.
Okay, and now is that okay?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Yeah, so on the VIX part, so it could change at any moment, right? Even for
yeah, it can change at any moment. See, when it starts changing at any moment, you will have up and down movement.
Yeah.
It will immediately indicate to you that you're going to have a sideways move.
Yes.
All along.
So again, we are going back to that problem of anticipation and.
Yeah, to an extent, I would say you're right. I would say you're right, and that's the reason I didn't want to talk about this concept earlier, because too much of information overload will happen, and people will start devising strategies based on this.
Yes, sir.
Right. I wanted to avoid that actually, but yes, it is a valid point also. Whenever VIX is falling, market will go up.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a valid point. But to some extent, what I believe in, and I started believing in this more now than earlier, that you don't need to sit and predict your direction. And as long as I trade this daily candle, when it's coming down, I take a PE entry. The buffer system will help us to avoid a false entry. Or even the 15-minute candle method also you can, breakout also you can use. Whatever helps to avoid a false entry. Throughout the day, you wouldn't have got entry at all in this any of these candles. You would have just waited, right? There was no breakout of the 15-minute candle.
Yes.
So you would have definitely avoided trading today because you didn't get a signal. That discipline we need to have, right? When you don't get signal, no trade. Because as I always say, hope is not a strategy. Hope is just something we have in our mind. It is better not to hope, no. I don't know, suddenly some noise came. Yesterday what happened was, when we had our session, we had some hackers who came
Okay.
and created havoc. I was using this Chrome extension to auto-admit people, so I disabled it.
Yeah.
Bella, what we are talking about is the buffer is, if you take the opening price and you add plus 0.5% of the opening price and minus 0.5% of the opening price, then it will give you buy above and sell below levels. If you follow that, you can avoid some unnecessary hedging contracts. You would have avoided buying, let's say, a CE contract, and when the price breaks below the buffer zone, you would have entered into PE. So you need not have two positions and waste your capital. You can only trade with one lot and try that. Initially, I suggest please trade with one lot and test it out before you go full swing into this. Bella, clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what we are, there is frankly nothing else to discuss. We discussed the other part of it as averaging, like yesterday's trade. When it was going deeper and deeper into loss, you start buying more lots at a lower price. So when your average price comes down and the market takes a turn, you're able to recover your loss and also make a profit.
Sir, if you take yesterday's example, that 15-minute breakout, then we'll be only getting P entry, not the C entry.
That's correct. You would have taken P entry, but you would have still failed if you had not exited quickly.
Yep, got it.
Some people smartly exited with a good profit and came out and said, I'm happy with what I got.
Yep.
People like me who were stupid, we held on to our trade and we had a big loss.
That is because you are not predicting the market.
Absolutely. I don't want to predict. I would rather take the loss and trade the next day when I get a full-bodied candle, where I can take multiple times my capital as profit. No. So if I lose, let's say, about 70% or 60% of my capital here, it is covered by actually 200-300% profits in the earlier trades. So I am definitely not eroding my capital.
So, sir, now we are taking entry based on the ORB, 15 minutes.
We are suggesting to you to avoid unnecessary hedge. Why don't we try this? See, ultimately, you people need to be comfortable. It is your money which you are putting at risk, right? So you have to decide how you want to take that trade. But in a Banknifty scenario, a 0.5% buffer is not a big thing. It's just about, if you take today's trade, it was 160 points. It's okay, I believe, to enter a little bit late and be more sure about your profitability. Having said all these things, I will continue to keep saying that the Heikinaishi method is the best possible method you can use if you are willing to sit before your laptop and keep staring at the screen. It will give you the lowest possible entry and tightest possible stop loss and more probabilities of success because you're trading only in one direction. And the direction is what you see on your screen. What is crucial is you will not enter a Heikinaishi trade at some random spot between support and resistance. You will only buy at support. Since we are option buyers, I'm talking about buying.
So instead, sir, as we were discussing on the daily candle, So we continue that only. Suppose in the morning if the market starts and the candle is red or green, whatever it is, plus we add say buffer of 0.3 or 0.5%, but still we take the trade as per the color of the candle. And we
Correct.
continue with that.
Yeah, you can
Right.
continue with that.
Yeah, so no need to wait for 15 minutes. So I think even sometimes even in the first 15 minutes, the movement is quite huge. You see.
True. You're very right.
So in
Here,
a
what
way,
I can
we
only
would
say
lose
is,
quite a significant amount of move per a day. Like for today, it was like the whole day was within that range itself. So that only
absolutely.
can, yeah. So maybe we can start with the color
But
of the
what is
candle.
better? What is better, Vivek? Is it better to avoid a sideways trade, or try to enter in with a buffer from somewhere here and get a false trade? That is something you have to decide. No,
Right.
you're the best judge. If you prefer to take a risk like that, you please take it. See, whenever I have observed, if the 15-minute candle range is not broken, that day is not a trending day. And God forbid you take a hedge trade also, you are going to lose only on both sides. It is better to avoid, no, than get into a trade and get messed up. After all, you have to wait only for next day to start. You're still going to be back in the game.
Yes, sir.
One day you take rest.
But that is all on the hindsight now, sir. How do we know that this is
It is
going
not
to
in
be?
hindsight when you're looking at the 15-minute candle breakout and then trading, right? It will not be in hindsight. When the candle breaks, you will take a trade. If the candle doesn't break, you don't take a trade. It's as simple as that. I mean, what more can anybody say to prevent losses for you? If you want to get into a trade urgently at the open, then you need to accept the fact that you're taking a larger risk. That's all. If that risk is okay with you, I'm fine with it. See here, this first 15-minute candle range got broken on the fourth candle here. As soon as it breaks, you could have taken the entry. I mean, in the third candle itself, it went up and then it formed a wick and came down. Then sellers were not able to take the price down to the next level, to the bottom of the 15-minute candle range. It clearly showed that the strength is with the buyers. So you would have been happy to hold on to your buy trade even if you had entered slightly earlier, because the loss also would not have been significant. End of the day, you would have taken a bigger profit, no? Yeah, tell me, Praneeth. Yes. Yeah, people have different ways of looking at the opening range. Some people even say trade after 30 minutes. Basically, these are all guys who trade in stocks who look for 1%, 1.5% move as a good move. Correct. And see, in options, it's a different ballgame because of the volatility, because of the thing, option Greeks playing. Right? Your ORB, if you take too early also, you will have a risk factor. If you take too late also, you will have lesser movement and lesser profits. What we are trying to optimize is how do I take the maximum amount of possible profits. The primary reason why this daily candle method was evolved was to overcome the drawback of the Heikenhashi method. Heikenhashi method, if you entered at an excellent spot, fine, but you missed the big move. In the initial stages, I remember people were messaging me saying, how do I avoid, how do I get into that trade?
Yeah.
Right. only way was what I can suggest is then enter at the open. Entering at the open means you enter at a higher price, and when the price does a retracement or a pullback, you start getting worried. Was my decision right or wrong? And especially if you're trading bigger lots, you will literally get scared out of your pants. All those things are factors which you need to keep in mind. As you said, if I have a risk ability of so much, then you have to wait patiently. But your mind will play a lot of tricks on you. It will say it is going to hit your stop loss. Why don't you exit quickly? It may not hit also. It may turn back and go in your direction again. Sometimes after stop loss hit also happens, then price will turn back and go in your direction. You can't predict any of those things in the market, right? The moment you stop predicting, you only follow the price, you're relieved of that responsibility of tracking where the price is going. And that is the single biggest advantage of trading the daily candle. And it is not like I'm the first person to say this. There are many people even in stock trading, most of these foreign fellows, they have come to the conclusion that the larger the time frame, lesser the whipsaws. Right? So it is clear that intraday noise will not bother you if you trade on the daily candle. Daily candle can go up as a strong green candle, then it can come back to half its level, and then again it may go back. What it helps you to do is avoid a panic exit, because the rule says only when green candle becomes red, you will take a reversal position. Until then, you will wait patiently. Sometimes your patience will be rewarded with a huge profit. Sometimes your patience will also be punished because you would have had a losing situation also. And when you're sometimes the candle forms as a very strong green candle, and then you get a shooting star candle formation. It obviously means that the entire gains which you had has been wiped out. So if you hold it till the end of the day, that day you will regret that I had so much profits, now it has become minus. It's all part of the game. You can't catch every move, especially if you're trading the daily candle. If you're looking to catch tops and bottoms, only Heiken Ashi can help you. And that also, Heiken Ashi, you will have that discretionary exit, which will create a problem for you. Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
So if you are searching for that perfect system, take it from me, after 15 years of full-time trading experience, there's no such thing called a perfect system. Right?
Good night, sir.
Oh, Swami sir, it was very good.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, like I just felt like, you know, we were live listening to some sort of financial channel or some sort where, like, you know, two people would be interacting with you. It was very good, sir.
Actually, he's so experienced. He need not be wasting his time in this Telegram channels and all.
No, in fact, he put all of us in a shameful position, you know, saying that after with his experience, he is like respecting your view and the way you teach and all. So we shouldn't have been any questions. I mean, many a times I even posted a lot of stuff which was unrelated to this thing.
That is okay. No, we are trying to learn. Whatever we can learn, we'll learn. Many times I learn from you guys what you guys are doing. I cannot do. And if you ask me to, if you send me an Excel file and say you sit and analyze it, I will just throw it out of the window, because I don't have the patience to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Because I'm simply not built that way. I'm not an analytical person. Though I'm a chartered accountant, all my life I worked as a marketing guy or an operator guy.
Okay.
Suddenly I can't change myself. So analysis you guys do.
Definitely, sir. I would love to. I mean, I can dig deep, like.
For me, intuitively, I know something will work, so I'll go ahead and trade it.
Okay.
So anyway,
Sir, I just recall a point which was being discussed with a dear friend Amog.
mm,
There were several OTM strikes where the bank nifty didn't break the high or low, but the strikes have gone far beyond the high or low.
mm-hmm,
It happened in CE and PE OTMs as well,
mm.
and in fact, in many of the ITMs did that.
Yeah, I think
So,
it's logical, no?
uh, how come, sir? Delta is not beyond bank
It
nifty
can't go
movement, right?
beyond one,
Yeah. So
but
how come?
I don't know, maybe other Greeks will also have entered the picture there.
Yeah, that aspect has to be. I mean,
I'm
we
saying
would
here,
like to see some.
why would you need to do all this kind of analysis? Take your profit, enjoy your life now.
That is
How long
there,
are you
but
going to?
for the first time we noticed that, so we were wondering like what could have been the reasons. So
Hemant,
yes, sir.
I think it is because of the volatility. Mr. Swaminathan has shared a YouTube video on why we trade OTM options.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You only shared in our group, I think.
Yeah, I did.
In that, it is clearly mentioned why we trade OTM option, because when the volatility goes up, even a 20% volatility goes up, your OTM delta will be the same, but the prices will become 4 or 5 times. Just watch that is, I think, 9 minutes YouTube video. It's a great info.
It's a
That may be the reason.
I'll do that, sir.
it's a YouTube channel called Options A to Z, and I somehow got attracted to that fellow's videos. He explains so clearly.
Yeah, okay.
I'll repost that link if you want.
Sure, sir, that would help.
Okay.
And one last question from my side.
Yeah, sure.
See, I was never a OTM trader earlier. Before you introduced why OTM can be beneficial, considering the percentage of gain in terms of the investment.
Correct.
But keeping that aside, I've been trading this OTM since a week.
Okay.
So what I have personally observed was like it is mentally helping you to stay calm.
True.
I am a very impulsive person, so that has been a reason. Like I have been removing anything more than 25K from my account just because to control myself, not to punch in more orders.
Exactly.
The moment when I started taking OTMs, I'm like crystal clear. Okay, with one lot, this is the maximum risk, and then even if it goes down, I can average it with this much, and this is the capital I need. I have no tension at all. Apart from this, whenever there is a sudden movement, ITMs are going crazy.
Yes.
And that might give a stop loss hit in the first and our initial hedge system. So do you advise going for only OTM? See, the problem is, for example, on Mondays and Fridays, the average movement of Bank Nifty is considered to be somewhere around above 700 on any given Friday in 2021.
Okay.
So if it is giving 700 points, and even if you are entering after the movement of 150 points, and with a delta of like less than 0.5, 0.3,
correct,
you are bound to catch 300 points.
Absolutely.
Without any tension.
Yes.
And if it goes beyond your expectation, I mean the reversal, you are happy to hedge it because all it requires is pump in more lots at a lesser price.
Correct. True.
So do you strongly recommend to go with only OTMs?
See, what I would like to do is start with OTM and see it becoming ITM. That is the ultimate heaven I can find.
Okay.
Right. So I try to manipulate the distances of the strikes in such a way that I have more likelihood of my OTM becoming ITM.
Okay.
But on Fridays, I only trade OTM because the loss has to be small.
Yeah.
Fridays generally have been a premium eating day because weekend people will close their positions. Nobody likes to carry forward the Friday positions till Monday because of the theta effect. I realized somebody sent me, I think it was you only, no? Someone sent
me. After some people said like, theta effect would be there on Monday if it doesn't.
Definitely is there. Whatever your article says, I've experienced it.
Okay.
Monday I start with a disadvantage unless there is a gap up or gap down opening.
Okay.
See, it is like a BTSC trade.
Okay.
Okay, if you are willing to take that risk,
Okay.
right, you can make quick money within the first 1 hour and get out.
Oh, okay.
You buy in the evening at 3:15
Mm-hmm.
or maybe 3:25
Okay.
and carry it over to the next day. If you have a gap up, quickly close your position.
Okay.
So there, the OTM contracts will help because the side which is winning will have a fairly substantial gain.
Okay.
And the losing side will lose money at a slower rate.
Okay.
So that is how I look at this strike selections and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of individual experience and the amount you are willing to risk and all those things. I'm not willing to risk more than 2,000 rupees on a trade.
Okay.
So I prefer to keep it within that limit.
All right.
Because there's no point in earning from the market and then give it all back in 1 or 2 trades.
Yeah.
That doesn't excite me at all. So strike selection is something actually which is unique and personal to you. You define your risk, you define your ability to take X amount of loss, ability and willingness, okay, and then you trade according to that.
I believe that drastically improves the winning probability of any person, sir.
Even if it does end up being a loser, you are not too worried, no?
True.
So this is the risk I'm going to accept. So you might as well trade. And point is, when you enter the trade, you should not have any fear.
Yeah.
And mostly people hesitate to punch the order because they start thinking, what happens if I fail? What happens if my trade fails? 1 or 2 failures is not making you a failure. It is just inherent part of the process.
Yeah.
So I prefer OTM. Some people may prefer ITM. And in fact, the same channel I mentioned also has a video about why ITM options are a bad idea.
Okay.
Okay, you can go through that channel.
Yeah. Then for sure I have to see that. I mean, so far my experience is like completely reversed. I mean, it got reversed. I never used to go with OTMs, but since a week, I prefer these are the cool things to go ahead with.
See, if you just search option buying in YouTube, you'll find a lot of videos saying biggest mistakes made by option buyers. One of the biggest mistakes is buying OTM options.
Okay.
And they are talking about it in the context of holding your option for the expiry.
Okay.
If you're an intraday trader, you didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
See, buying at 30 rupees and seeing it become 60 rupees is 100% gain. No.
Yeah.
What more can you want? 100% return on your capital you got.
True.
And you can buy more lots with this kind of cheaper prices. Psychologically, though the amount of capital you will deploy is the same, psychologically it kind of reduces the fear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
That is there. I have experienced it, and so I'm just iterating the same thing.
Swami sir, I think it is context driven. Like if you want to go for a 1:1 risk reward trade or a quick scalping, you go for like higher delta because there you won't have to wait for move to build up. Now,
see, my problem is
but for a bigger ROI, as you are suggesting, FAR OTM are best because once they are in movement, then this it keeps on compounding and we get an exponential return there.
See, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm like a tiger who has tasted blood. Okay, when you have seen possibilities of making 12 times, 15 times your capital, you no longer want to settle for 1:1 risk reward.
Exactly, and that is possible only in FAR OTM.
Yes.
The only thing is you have to catch the move right from the beginning.
Correct.
That is where the HA method helps you a lot.
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
And I was finding that most of the warning signals given by these YouTubers, number one, option buying is not a winning game. 90% of buyers lose money. That is one theory. The second theory is OTM buyers are fools. And I wanted actually to prove them wrong by actually doing it myself and testing it. I was willing to put some money at risk. I started buying only. I actually fell into this option buying by accident. Somebody said you should trade options. And he suggested some strike price and said you buy this. I didn't know shit about options. I just went ahead and bought it. I took a risk of 5,000 rupees, I remember. and same evening, I got out of that trade with 12 times my capital. So 5,000 became 60,000. Then I said, yeah, this is damn good. Prior to this, I was only a equity trader. Cash segment, I was trading. I used to make some 10, 15, 20%. I used to feel happy. Option trading totally changed the game for me. It brought in a level of enthusiasm which I had not had even as a youngster. So it kind of fell into place. Yes, I made my share of mistakes, definitely. And I started evaluating why I'm going wrong. It was because I was listening to too many people at that time, because I was totally fresh into option trading and I didn't know anything. So I started looking at what people are discussing about options. But over a period, I started learning on my own. And though I don't like to talk about all these option Greeks and OI analysis, I've done a very in-depth study of all those things. After studying and finding that they're not helping me only, I discarded them. And from my point of view, I am right. Maybe if some other person looking at it from a different perspective may say you're wrong. There'll always be some counter opinion to your opinion. I'm not going to enter into a quarrel with somebody who believes something else. You believe what you like and I believe what I like. And what I like has been giving me money. It has been helping me to sustain my family for last 15 years without a job. There is no stable job I have. Though I'm a chartered accountant, I did not want to get into private practice because it's too much of time and labor intensive work. I became too lazy. I don't want to do hard work anymore. So I decided trading is a source of income for me. And eventually all of us will get there, I think. It's just a matter of trying to unlearn a few things. And don't believe everything what people tell you unless you have tested it for yourself. Don't look at various Telegram groups or YouTube videos and get influenced by them. The guys who are putting out those YouTube videos are probably 20 years old, trying to say, I found a system. Good luck to them and their followers. I'm pretty happy doing what I do.
Actually, sir, all types of people with every strategies, they are making money from the market.
True.
So whatever suits you and your psychology. Somebody who is having big capital will say, "Oh, buying is not for me. I cannot buy with huge amount I'm having." So he'll more be looking into selling strategies.
There is one Telegram group called Nifty Banknifty Options.
Yeah, I know, sir.
That guy Shreyas Bandi is doing.
Yeah.
Literally
Doing live trading. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a simple delta neutral strategy which he is following. दोनों तरफ से बेचता रहता है and he keeps matching premium. But easy to see and it's not so easy to execute.
Exactly, unless you have the backup funds with you.
Right.
He was actually a gamer. He became a trader. And
this is a classic, strangle which you do in selling side, short side, and then you keep your delta matching at every stage by rolling up or rolling down your positions.
True.
But yeah, I also
he's doing it quite efficiently.
Exactly. So this is for the first time I saw somebody trading live, and that too on such a huge account. 50 lakhs, I think he trades with, and he makes a good amount of money also every day. And he on few days he loses to the tune of 14 lakhs also.
Yeah.
Once
he's not ashamed of saying it. No.
Exactly. The best thing about him is his honesty. He shows everything on screen.
These are the guys you have to admire for their honesty, at least.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
Even though we may not be able to do the same thing he does.
So these guys are also making their share of money from market by being a successful seller.
Yes.
And we being a successful buyer or would be successful buyers, we also are trying to make our share of money from market.
Absolutely. That is how the market works now.
Exactly, sir.
Soumyadeep, don't worry, I was just praising you, not criticizing you for leaving the meeting. Actually, you should be focusing on trading rather than attending webinars. That will be healthy for your account.
Swami sir,
Anji.
let Saumadev contact some experience classes like 10-15 minutes, not today,
Yeah.
maybe next session. We need to understand how we trades in commodities.
Correct. We can, Soumyadeep, you're hearing this, so please conduct a session for us. Okay, great. He has said yes, sir.
Means he has heard or he has accepted? That is the question.
I had the same question.
You have to assume he has accepted. Now it is up to you to make him do it. So actually, we can all learn from him how to be a disciplined trader. That is something amazing I found in him. And if he shares his experience, it will be beneficial for all of us.
True. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Let's hope in near future let him conduct a session.
Hope is not a strategy. You have to force him.
That's only you can do being the guru.
Swaminathan has to do it. We'll pester him in the group and make him do it.
So the only thing, sir, you have to make sure is it should be a non-trading day. Otherwise, he'll be too busy.
I know.
Frequently attending his trades.
No, sometimes, you know, what happens is on the spur of the moment, I decide, let's have a chat with all these guys. Just because I want to chat with you guys, I say, let's have a webinar. I may not have anything new to share. I mean, after sharing everything I have nothing new to say to you guys. Right. So still I feel like chatting with you. Sometimes I pick up the phone and talk to a few people. Sometimes I say, let's have a webinar.
So if only having a system would make everyone successful, by now all of us would have been multi-millionaires.
Correct, multi-millionaires.
So what we are getting from you is something more valuable. I mean, that is the whole reason. Like I already told you, I don't trade your system yet. But then I still make it a point to attend your webinar because there are these little things that actually help. So.
What I am saying is these little things you can find out for yourself also, no?
Yes, that is by experience.
It is not something sent by God.
No, sir, that obviously after so many years of experience, you're able to share these things, right?
That's true.
So I might be able to say the same things, but I will not be able to follow it. I might be able to preach.
So if you're preaching, then that also is good, no?
What help is it to me, sir? I mean, I rather not preach until and unless I practice it.
Our Venugopal has sent me a message saying, looks like somebody is copying your day candle strategy. Actually, this lady who is a chartered accountant called Akshata Udupa, she has a YouTube channel. Slowly she has graduated into being a trainer. Whatever she's saying makes a lot of sense. So if they are using the same strategy, it's good. It kind of validates what we are saying. Her name is Archata Udupa, UDUPA. Akshata Udupa. Anyway, there are a lot of trainers popping up every now and then. And this Corona days has been an opportunity for both the retailers as well as for the trainers. So sitting at home, what else can you do? You're making a productive use of your time. Good for them if they are making money out of training.
We don't know about the traders are earning or not, but
they are earning definitely. Trainers are earning.
Traders are earning anything, sir.
Yeah. I told you, no, my daughter and son, they always keep pestering me saying, why are you teaching all these things free? create a set of YouTube videos and we will monetize it. Somehow I'm too lazy to do all those things. So shall we wind up the session if there's no other question or anything? Or if you have questions, we'll definitely be here.
No, sir, we're good. We'll call it a day. Call it a night.
Yeah, sure.
Right, sir.
Thanks a lot, Swami sir.
Thanks
Good
once
night.
again.
Thank you very much.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, good night. I hope all of you got some value out of the discussions today.
Yes, sir.
सर ये कल का
Yeah, tell me.
वेबिनार
Kal ka webinar has been uploaded, Bella. It has been uploaded and YouTube links have been shared.
Sir, it has been uploaded in parts, I think. I mean, one was...
Yeah, see what happened was Kalka webinar mein, we were talking about my personal aspects of how I started as a trader and all those things.
But that I want to listen from where I can...
Yeah. And then I'll call you one day, I'll explain to you. So see, the point is, I did not want it to be appearing on all social media and all those things. So we decided we'll edit it and upload it.
Personally, you can, or that person who is recording can share me personally.
Okay, I'll share you the unedited. Share with you the unedited video.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
We will do that one more time, sir. Actually, like in not by recording, we will do it like a casual session. That will be helpful for real trading.
Sure, sure.
Sir, we would like to listen these kind of sessions, your real life experience. It actually helps new traders like me.
Yesterday's webinar mein, we were talking about what I was doing before I started trading, how I lost big money.
So यही सीखना है सर एक्चुअली एक्सपीरियंस सीखना है स्ट्रेटजी तो चलती रहेगी मेन चीज है कि if we learn from something from your experience that will help a lot.
Then I talked about how I joined different jobs and all those things. So these are not things fit for social media consumption, no. So personally, I can talk anything to you guys. I have whatever I did, I just explained. Someone said, how much did you earn? So my earnings also I disclosed partly. How I had a 5,000 rupee trading account and converted that into 65 lakhs over a period of 1.5 years.
Yeah, actually, you can do a web series, sir. Actually, with the story we have discussed, that was really that much worthful, sir.
Worthful, but some people will think also I'm an idiot sharing all these things on YouTube.
No, YouTube we don't share that one. No,
Yeah.
Just between our circle only.
In fact, I never wanted to become a trainer. Okay, I would have quietly been sitting in one corner of my house trading and making money. It all happened because of one person, that Kirti fellow in FTU chat. He challenged me and I, like an idiot, I took the challenge. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shared anything. So in a way, it was a happy accident and I was able to meet all of you. That is a good thing.
The beauty is Kirti is no more. We are all with you.
Kirti is very active in another one or two groups where he's an admin also.
Now I'm more tempted to get the video, sir.
No, I'll give you the video.
Okay.
Please don't share it anywhere.
No,
Sir,
no,
मुझे भी, sir, I need also.
Yeah, I'll
Swami
send it
sir,
to
me
you.
too. Rakesh, me too.
Yes, okay. Ankit, Mac and Bella, I'll share you the videos.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Other
sir.
people anyway were... Praveen, you were saying something?
Yeah, for myself too.
Okay.
Actually, what happened yesterday, I started the webinar, like I joined after 15, 20, 30 minutes. And I was much tired. And
Yeah, I saw that you had left also quickly.
I don't know where I left, and it was just lorry like, and I slept. And your voice is like, I'm fan of Sadhguru, and your voice is exactly like Sadhguru.
Anyway, nice.
Lorry like, and I slept.
So will you guys just send me a message, direct message, so that I'll remember to send the video to you?
Okay,
Sure,
sir.
sir. We'll send.
Okay. If I forget, at least you can remind me.
Yes, sir. Just sending now only.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah, Praveen.
yeah. Please also got the expense for 5K to 65 lakhs. Just something like cute.
See, that story is very simple. I'll explain it to you right now. I used to trade with moving average and this RSI, and I used to trade on the basis of the daily candles. So I'll show you what I was doing. Even today, that method will work. It's not that because I don't use indicators, it doesn't mean it won't work. I put a 5-day moving average on my chart. Then I take a RSI. My RSI settings were 5 periods instead of 14. And
Sir, are you sharing screen?
yes, oh sorry, I'll just start sharing the screen. 1 minute. I forgot. No, yeah, please. Strategy you can put, but let's not talk about how much money I made and all those things. Yeah. Fine. That is okay. Just wait a second. Yeah, I know I'm presenting my screen. You guys can see it. So what I have is a 5-period RSI with 60 and 40 as my levels. So for me, when price is above 5-day moving average and RSI is also crossed 60, the shaded zone, that is a buy opportunity. So every day in the morning I used to buy and close my computer and go away. So end of the day I used to come and see what was the result. And most days when the price is above 5-day moving average, you have more of green candles than red candles. So on the days when I have a red candle, I take that loss. And every day since I was compounding my profit, that means I was reinvesting my profit along with my capital. This amount was growing very fast. So I used to trade higher quantities, and when loss happens, then I scale down my quantity. As long as RSI doesn't fall below 60, I will always keep buying only. Even if I have more losing days, I don't mind. And when RSI is less than 40, to me that is a sell signal. Sometimes it can fail also, like what happened in this area. But I never used to think twice about it. I used to say, okay, if it is happening, let me wait until it goes up, and then I'll take another trade. So this was the only strategy I was trading. I started with 5,000 rupees capital, and I had only three or four stocks which I used to trade. One of them was Century Textiles, because those were giving like 13, 15 rupees a day movement. So I was happy to take profits on that.
Which were the other stocks?
Century Textiles was one, Shriram Transport Finance is another. Then I had Biocon. Then I had Bajaj Finserv. Bajaj Finserv because I was working in that company. So I had an emotional attachment for that company.
Okay.
So I just had some 3-4 stocks, and I used to trade only those things. If I don't get an opportunity in one, I'll look at the other stock and see if I get a trade. And mostly what happens is when RSI is between 40 and 60, it is a no trade zone for me. That means prices are not trending. So when the prices are consolidating, there's no point in putting your money at risk. But still I used to get bad trades and all those things. But some of these kinds of periods, if you see, RSI was sticking within 40 and 60. So those were the days I was very reluctant to take a trade. Then I thought, why not trade on those days using only the current daily candle strategy. If the candle is red, I'll blindly enter a sell position. It was a gamble more or less, but somehow it worked for me. Some days you will lose, some days you will win. but it was overall a very positive experience. And those days when brokers were giving margins, like Zerodha was giving 28 times margin for a bracket order or cover order. So those were the days I used to make big money because I always used to take the margin and trade. I never worried about losses. Some days loss will be big also. I never used to worry about those days. Just enter the trade and wait till end of day. That was my philosophy of entering the trades. And it was working very well. That is why I thought we'll introduce this concept in option trading. If it works, even 69%, it is a fantastic earning opportunity. So there's actually nothing new which I've shared. This is part of this strategy only. These periods you have to be a bit careful. Price also is not clearly below or above. It keeps cutting the moving average line. Then you know it's a dangerous trade. So this is how I used to trade that thing. And my initial capital I had only 5,000 rupees to risk because when Harshad Mehta got arrested, I lost big money. I lost about 30-40 lakhs. I had to sell a flat without my father's knowledge and pay the dues. And even that was not enough because I was borrowing money at 9% per month to keep adding more to my trades. And after that, I realized, so what is the point in doing all those things? At that time, I got this job with Bajaj Finance, so I went and joined them. After that, I stopped trading for some time. But once you've been a trader, you can't stay away from the market forever. Sooner or later, you will come back to the market. So I came back almost, 8 or 10 years later, I came back into the market. And after that also going has been good. But this was a very simple strategy I used. I never used to think about other indicators or anything. This was working well. Why to disturb something which is working? This was my journey as a beginner trader. Before that, of course, you didn't have online trading and all those things. We had to go to a broker and place your order. And broker will quite naturally understate your buying price or overstate your buying price. He will take some part of the money for himself. All that fraud used to happen. And since you're depending on the broker will give you tips. That fellow will have all kinds of financial newspapers with him. And those days during Harshad Mehta's tenure, so many newspapers came up. Money opportunities, trade for profit, all kinds of newspapers used to come. And my broker will have all those things. Those are basically giving tips. Buy this at so and so price, etc. My broker used to give the tips from that, and I used to blindly trade. At one stage, my broker started calling me a mini bull because I was pledging whatever I bought and taking money from financiers and trading again the next day. It was a pure gambling. Luckily, the gamble worked for me. Not always it will work. So it is a risky way to trade. And especially trading with borrowed capital is a very, very bad thing. I went through that bad experience and then finally I came out of that and said no more of this nonsense. So when somebody said, how can you generate wealth with 5,000 rupees? I said, this is how you can do it. And I actually did it. It took me 1.5 years to make that 65 lakhs, but I was very happy. And each of that profit every day was being pumped into the market for next day's trade. Plus you had 28 times the margin from the broker. So the amount was growing bigger and bigger. So you started trading higher quantities. The risk factor is if you select some stock which is unknown or which has low trading volume, The very fact that you're buying, let's say, 10,000 quantity of some particular stock, where the total volume itself is only 10,000, you can't exit at your price. So you'll have to do a distress selling. It has happened to me once or twice. I took some stock which has a total volume of only 10,000, and on a given day I used to have 8,000 of that. It was a very bad way to trade, but I was also learning only. So I used to take lesser profits and start thinking why I had that loss and all those things. So if you're looking for that magic system which will convert 5,000 to 65 lakhs, this is the one. Now I no longer look at indicators, so I removed everything from my chart. I like to look at plain charts and only keep trading that. When you look at the plain charts, you start analyzing the price movements. You suddenly find you can instantly pinpoint where the trend has started, and you're able to ride that trend very peacefully. In an intraday scenario, you have a lot of noise, even in a 15-minute chart. So probably you may not be very effective doing it in the intraday thing. And you need to have that capacity to absorb a loss if you're trading big volumes. Because everything was built from 5,000, I didn't mind losing it also. So I was just playing a big gamble. And intraday charts I never used to look at. Only the daily chart, buy in the morning, sell in the evening. Guiding principle was whether price is above 5-day moving average or below it. So any moving average system, when you have a sideways movement, you are going to have whipsaws. That is one phase you need to know how to handle. If you know how to handle these whipsaw days, you can trade that system even now. You don't even need RSI. You need only the 5-day moving average. In fact, I must have saved it as a view somewhere. I had, I actually had one more method of trading Banknifty called the 3x34 method. So whenever the price crosses, the 3-day moving average crosses 34, you go ahead and buy the option. Until it doesn't cross below, you hold on to your option. So you may hold it for 2 or 3 days. But that used to give good profits. That's why I saved it as a view here. Then I used to trade with Bollinger Bands. Sell at the top, buy at the bottom. That was the rule. So I used to patiently wait. So this was also not giving me great results. So I found that I was, sorry, I was losing money more often than I was winning. But on certain winning days, what they call as a Bollinger Band burst, those days you have big profits. If the price starts moving up and up and up, and the band is expanding, you know that volatility is increasing. The trick was to buy at this period when bands are narrow and wait for the expansion. Then you had that problem of whether you should buy or sell, or buy C or buy P. Then I started adding on more indicators to that. I added money flow index to tell me whether money is flowing into that option or out of that option. So that will tell me whether to buy or sell. But it was not giving me very consistent results. You need to be able to hold on to your trade if you trade this kind of system. So I kind of see, I have this MFI guide which tells me, because it's an index, it's not showing anything on the MFI. It won't show anything relating to volumes. So that was another system I tried. Bollinger Bands. Finally, I settled up with only this naked chart method, where there's literally nothing. Hakinashi candle, I started experimenting. Even without that, you can make money. And you see that I have pivot lines because I needed to know where to enter the trade. This worked on intraday as well as holding positionally for the week options and all those things. But if you are stuck with a losing position, let's say you have a OTM strangle and you have a loss on the expiry day, there is no great hope of recovering all your losses. So I used to close everything by expiry day and sit quietly. Basically, it's all an evolution. Now I don't need any of these methods because I know that the Heikinaishi method works much better than any other system I've seen. So finally I settled with only the Heikinaishi system. No pivot points, no nothing. And in most of the videos I saw, Heikinaishi was saying, traders were saying that you should buy after the second green candle. I realized that I missed a big part of the trend. The biggest movement is the initial momentum. Once you lose that, there's no fun in trading the rest of the move. Always, if you enter after two candles, you're not going to make money. You're going to make very small money. So I discarded that system also. So I said, okay, I'll find my own way. I wanted to catch this bottom and then trade all the way to the top. So all this experimentation led to the Heikinaishi method. There are people, I mentioned in my earlier first webinar also, there is one channel called Super Trend FX. That guy uses the Heikinaishi method, but he uses it on a 1 hour chart, number one. And number two is he uses these breakout points. He will mark support and resistance like what we do. Then he will wait for the price to break out and only after that he will enter the trend. Somehow I was not having that patience also. And I said I want to enter earlier and capture the entire move. Otherwise, what is the point? So I was not a big fan of breakout trading. So I used to say it is better to trade the pullback and then take a reversal trade rather than taking the main trend. That's how I started. And sometimes you lose money also because the pullback is too short. So you don't find a big opportunity to make money. Then I said I'm moving down to 15 minutes. And I used to take small losses. I used to take big gains. Overall, at the end of the day, as long as it was giving me good money, I was happy. I didn't think I should make the system more perfect, like what we are trying to do now. And this initial move, I always used to miss. And after I shared this method, on certain days you had you had a deep profit on a PE which you missed. I regretted not catching this move. But the system was that you will buy only against a red candle. So in spite of missing this move, we were taking only small profits here. That is how I started thinking about the daily candle method. This drawback has to be overcome. And plus we have this, our friend Rabindra sharing all the failed trades in his chats in a group. I started thinking here, how do I prevent these failed trades? So solution was go to the daily candle. After all, I had been successful doing it in stocks. Why not in options? This is how the thought process evolved. So that is it from my side, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Swami sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night. Now you close first. Because now you see everybody left, only few people were like gifted with this knowledge.
No, because everybody has attended earlier webinar.
Okay.
Attended, so they may not be interested in hearing the same thing.
Okay.
Anyway,
thank you very much. Good night. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night, all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you.